Dear all, welcome to AS Educational Channel. Today we will see how to make the perfect cable sizing for the particular application. Now we are going to see procedure one by one. So in this lecture we will see what is a cable sizing. Then generally cable sizes are mentioned in AWG and SWG. AWG is American wire gauge and SWG is standard wire gauge. The value of American wire gauge is slightly less than the standard wire gauge, but once if we know it is sufficient for us to calculate the area of the cable and to select the particular size of cable for the application. Now see, here we have written some table. So actually it is American wire gauge. The readings may be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to 40. The American wire gauges are available. Now accordingly they have stated mm is for 1 gauge, is 7.3, for 2 gauge wire this is 6.5 and so on. The greater the gauge number, smaller will be the size of wire and it will have a reduced current capacity. Now we'll see how to convert this table. You will find from, as I have already mentioned, we will find 1 to 40 gauges are there and accordingly we will get the size in So we'll see how this table is made. So for example, we will see this D4 size. So if you see D4, so a gauge of 4, what this gauge of 4 will have a value in if we want to calculate it, then its formula is 0.127 into 92 raised to 36 minus n upon 39. This is the formula. Now if you see this 4th gauge wire diameter, so if you see the answer, you will get here 32 upon 39, and if you calculate this you will get this value. The diameter is 5.829 Now further you can calculate the area, and the area will be calculated by pi d square upon 4, that means 3.14 into 5.829 into 5.829 upon 4. This will be the area of that cable. While selecting the cable, some safety factor has to be considered, because the manufacturer mentions the cable at a specified temperature. Many of the manufacturers specify the temperature of cable at say 70 degree or 90 degree, or some specifies at 40 degrees. So again the cable's derating factor is there. It has to be considered. It will depend upon what kind of cabling we are doing. So we are laying the cable in duct, we are laying the cable in trough, or it is a open cabling. Again what kind of insulation is there, and again it will depend on the temperature rise in the cable. So there is some derating factor. So whatever the current we get, we have to multiply that derating factor. Hence the current carrying capacity of the cable for particular square reduces, and we have to consider this derating factor in the further calculations. This kind of table you will find on the net, that is area in square millimeter and current carrying capacity of a cable. Now we'll see that means 1 square cable carries 6 ampere. This 70 square cable carries 150 ampere. Of course this is for the copper cable. So generally we'll keep in the mind that the copper cable generally takes the current carrying capacity of a copper conductor is 2.5 times the area of a conductor, while the aluminium conductor takes 1.5 times the area of the conductor. This is the current carrying capacity, right? Now this table you can see up to 30 amperes, we can see that this is 5 times. That means the square mm into 5 times. If you multiply, that is a current rating capacity. That means if I want to calculate if my current is 18 ampere and I want to find the size of the cable, that means if 18 ampere means it is less than 30 amperes. So my first lot is of 30 up to 30 amperes. So I will divide it by 5 simply. So as I told you that my current was 18 ampere. So 18 ampere divided by 5, it comes to be 3.6. So 3.6 means I have to use the cable of 4 square mm. Now this is how we calculate. But after 30 amperes up to 120 amperes, this law tells that we have to multiply the square mm by 4. So it is a rough calculation. That means if my current is of 70 amperes, so it is more than 30 amperes and it is less than 125 amperes. So I have to divide it. See, I have told you that the current is 75 amperes. So 75 amperes, if it is divided by 4, what I get? I get is 4 ones are 4 1, 4 8s are 30. So 18 point something, that means say 19. So as 19 square mm cable is not available, so I will use the cable which is of 25 square mm, which is having the current carrying capacity of 80 amperes. But this is actually a calculation with a rough estimation because we have not considered the derating factor. Now for 75 amperes, if this cable is selected, now if it is 80 is multiplied by 0.8, say generally derating factor is up to in worst condition it is up to 0.8. So 80 into 0.8, if it is done, it will be 64 ampere. But my current is 75 amperes. Hence, it is not suitable for that application. I have to go for further application. That means I will have to see for the 35 amperes cable where 125 into 0.8, that is more than 90. So my current is satisfied, my current rating is satisfied, so I should go for this. But actually by a rough calculation, if 19 square mm is not available, so I can use 25 square mm cable. This was my answer. But derating factor and further precise calculations will come in our next calculations, that is how cables are selected. And after, now see, after this 125 further up to, these are the cable sizes, 120, 150, 185, 200, 240 up to 1000. So this will be, the current rating will be divided by 2. So accordingly 1000 square mm cable will take a current of up to 2000 amperes. So similarly we will see the further calculations. Now see, above 70 square mm up to 1000 square mm, you will find that the square mm into 2 will be the ampere rating, and of course it is for the copper cables. Now that means if my current rating is say 450 ampere, which cable I should select? So for, see, this 450 is more than 125. So simply after 125 I am going to divide it by 2. Whatever the current is there, I will divide by 2 and I will find the size like this, say 2 2s are 4, 2 2s are 4, and say so 225. My answer comes to be 225 square mm. But 225 square mm cable is not available, so I will have to use this 240 square mm. Further, if derating factor of 0.8 is calculated, then again we will have to go for the 300 square mm cable. Now we will see how to select the cable and what is the procedure of cable selection. In this process, we have to satisfy the criteria, the 3 criteria. The first criteria is short circuit capacity of a system, and the second one is ampere capacity, maximum current carrying capacity of a cable, and the third one is the voltage drop. If these 3 criteria are satisfied, then we can say the given cable is suitable for use. Now we will see the first, that is short circuit capacity of a system. Now say the square mm cable, that is area of cable, will be calculated as I, that is I is fault current. I fault, I will write I fault. Fault current into root T upon K. K is a constant factor according to what type of cable it is used. Generally in the industries, these cables are copper and aluminium. So XLP and PVC cables, that is this polyurethane and PVC cable, they are used. The manufacturer gives the rating at 90 degrees for the XLP cable, and for PVC cable he gives us the value for 70 degrees. So for copper it is 243 and aluminium it is 92 at 90 degrees if the cable used is XLP. This is the best cable we can use. Now PVC is at 70 degrees. For copper this K factor is 115 and for aluminium it is 75. So first we have to calculate the fault current. After calculation of fault current, this T is the time for which the cable has to withstand the current. So whenever a system is there, system has the various protections systems, that is instantaneous relay operation time and the circuit breaker operation time. The combination of both relays, that is circuit breaker operation and instantaneous relay operation, generally takes the addition of them is 0.2. So we have to take this point T as 0.2 and then we can find it. Let us find how to calculate the fault current. For calculating the fault current, let us consider an example of a transformer of 2 MVA rating and its voltage rating is 11 kV by 415 volts with a 90% efficiency at a full load and cos phi as a 0.9 and impedance is 8.5%. Now we can calculate the full load current. So this power of the transformer can be written as root 3 VI cos phi into efficiency of a transformer. So if I calculate this, P is nothing but our transformer was 200, our transformer was 2 MVA. So we'll write in terms of VA. So it will be 2000 into 1000 VA is equal to root 3 into voltage is 415 into current. I have to calculate current at full load into cos phi is my 0.9 and the efficiency of my transformer was 0.9. So if you calculate, this value comes to be 3435. So this I at full load is 3435 amperes. Now after calculation of full load current, if this full load current is divided by the percentage impedance, we will get the fault current. So this fault current, I fault, is equal to our full load current, that is 3435 upon our impedance was 8.5%. So it is 0.085. So if we calculate it, it will come with a value say 40.5 kiloamperes. 40.5 kiloamperes. So my circuit breaker should be 40 kiloamperes breaking capacity. Now we'll calculate the area of conductor according to that. So area is my formula for area was I fault current, that is I fault is 40,500, right, into root T, that is 0.2 upon, I am going to use a cable, that is K factor. XLP is the cable which I am going to use. This cable with a K factor of 243. So upon I will write it, here it is a 243, which comes to be 74.53 square mm. But this cable of 74.53 square mm is not available. So next to 70 is 95 square mm cable. So we'll select a cable of 95 square mm. Okay, so we'll have to select the cable of 95 square mm for this particular application. Now if this 95 square mm cable is selected and if it is derated, its derated factor is considered. Now we can say 8 5s are 40, so it is 4 it comes to be 76. So we can say that this cable carries a current of 76 amperes at the max under the worst condition. So we can see this 74 square mm cable we have to select, and we know that 70, instead of selecting the cable of 74 square mm, we are selecting a cable of 95 square mm, and this 95 square mm, since it is more than 70 square mm, according to our formula, it will carry the current which is double its area. That means it will carry a current of 200 amperes at least. So this cable is suitable for our application. Now we'll see the second criteria, that is ampacity or ampere capacity. What is ampacity? Ampacity is nothing but the maximum current that a cable can carry without a temperature rise, and this is very simple calculation. So now say for example we'll take a motor which is having 100 kilowatt capacity with a power factor of 0.9 as well as efficiency is 0.9. Now we have to calculate the full load current for that purpose. So our power is 100 into 1000 watts, so it is equal to √3 our V 415 I at full load we have to calculate into cos phi 0.9 into efficiency, that is 0.9. So our IFL, this the value of full load current of the motor comes to be 171.75 amperes. Now for this current, as we have seen previously, that from the table, if the current is of rating more than 125, we generally divide it by 2 and we will find the cable size. So if 170 divided by 2, if we do, it answer comes to be 85, but 85 square mm cable is not available. So we will select here 95 square mm cable for this purpose. And 95 square mm cable, if you see in the table, 95 square mm cable for 3 phase takes the current of 250 ampere. Now let us multiply this 250 ampere by 0.8, that is a derating cable factor. So it comes to be 200 ampere, and we have to ensure that whatever we have calculated the full rating current capacity, full rated current, that should be, the cable should be able to carry this current very easily. Means as this 95 square mm copper cable for 3 phase carries the current that is 200 ampere, and 200 ampere is more than 171 ampere. That means this rating is more than full rated current. Therefore 95 square mm cable is suitable for this application. Now this third criteria, voltage drop. Voltage drop should be less than 3% of the rated one. So we'll see how to calculate the voltage drop. We'll consider the previous example where we have taken the motor of 100 kilowatt with a power factor 0.9 and efficiency 0.9. We have calculated the full load current of that motor as 171.75 amperes. Now formula for calculation of voltage drop is equal to, say, full load current into R cos theta plus X sin theta into L. L is in meters. Generally they specify L in meter, but the value of R and X they specify in ohm per kilometer. So, and this length is in meter, so we have to divide it by 1000. So this will give you the value of voltage drop for single phase. But since we don't have a single phase, we have to multiply it by root 3 for the 3 phase. Now see, again the next question arises that this is the voltage drop. If we want to say the percentage voltage drop, then we have to multiply here by voltage rated. Now if we do the calculations, if R is known, if X is known, and power factor angle is 0.9, then theta, so this theta comes, it will be 25.84, and therefore sin theta will be 0.43. so this value is 0.9, this is 0.43, and if these values R and X both are known and L is given in meters, we can calculate the voltage drop at a running condition. This is the voltage drop at a running condition, and this voltage drop should be less than 3%. Now if this voltage drop should be less than 3% of the rated voltage, that is 415 volts. Now voltage drop at starting shall be considered, and the voltage drop limit for the starting is 15%. So for the starting purpose of a 3 phase, we can take this is as a root 3 IFL into, since it is a 6 times into 1.2 is a additional factor that is taken, that is marching factor. So 1.2 into, again the formula will be R cos theta at starting plus X sin theta at starting into L upon rated V into 1000. So this will be voltage drop at the starting, but the cos theta at starting will be 0.3, therefore sin theta will be 1 minus cos square theta into root, so that comes to be 0.91. So accordingly, when R and X are known to you and L is in meters, we can calculate the voltage drop at starting. So starting should be less than 15%, running condition should be less than 3%. So this will give us the selection of cable by the 3 criteria, that is short circuit carry capacity, then ampacity factor, then third one is voltage drop. Now voltage drop at running condition should be less than 3%. Cable selection according to the full load current. If the full load current has to be considered in such a way that the obtained value of full load current and selected cable multiplied by rating factor should be more than the full load current rating. So that will be the area of the cable. Now the first one was short circuit capacity, where we have seen I into root 3 upon K, where the values of K were for XLPE cables and PVC cable. We have already specified the in previous table. So accordingly the cable selections is done. Thank you very much.